All right. Cool.
Cha-cha.
Cha-cha. But yeah, dude, that fucking...
So
that's
like,
not
is it like it's not weatherproof or anything, yeah?
It is. It's waxed like canvas or some shit like that. So like, and you can re-wax it yourself, or you can send it in to get it waxed and all that fucking shit. Mine needs to get re-waxed. It's been fucking years.
Damn.
But mine is like too big because I lost like mad weight.
Yeah.
So like it used to be like in too.
But can't you like get it like stitched or whatever?
You can probably get it like tailored or whatever the fuck. But like I kept contacting them. I'm like, yo, can you make like an XL, like a large? And they're like some parts like they can bring in the waist, but the other stuff they can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a jacket that's supposed to be. It's not even this one. Mine is a barber horse riding jacket. I think I saw this like on GQ, so that's why I fucking picked it. I like GQ when they select certain clothes and shit like that, like because that's what like style is. You don't buy like the whole outfit that's on the magazine jackass. It's like, no, I like that scarf, and then a couple pages later, that's a cool jacket, and then you like make your own fucking shit.
Okay, that's the one you got.
That's the one I got. It would look a lot better if it was slim fitting, you know, but I gotta wear like a hoodie underneath it for it to look like it fits.
That's dope. How much that set you back?
Not much. I got it on sale or something. It was like fucking $2 something.
So you gonna give that to your kids and so you can hold on?
Well, it's a heritage piece you can pass down. Like my kid might be bigger than me, probably. You know, so and I just mean like taller or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but he might fit that like a motherfucker, or
Nice.
I can like give it to my brother or something like that. But because I want to get the not that one. That's a different coat. But like the shit like that, dude. Like even American, like Scott NYC, like makes like that traditional motorcycle leather jacket. And, like they supplied like military stuff back in the day, which was cool, like the World Wars and all that fucking shit. And like I really like Belstaff too, which is another British. Like Steve McQueen used to rock the shit out of that, which was really fucking cool. The Trailmaster I really want to get, but they also have this Benjamin Buttons jacket. Remember that movie Benjamin Buttons?
Probably not.
Brad Pitt. So Belstaff would make like custom jackets for some movies. Now it's like Matchless or whatever the brand is now. I think they like branched off or something. But a lot of like leather jackets you see in like movies that were like blockbusters, they make custom stuff for that movie. It's not like they just, you know, some movies do it. It's not like we just go to Tom Ford and get a suit for James Bond.
Yeah, they just like make a piece for like that
They want
movie.
something with character.
Yeah.
Even Hamilton makes movie watches. Like they made Interstellar's watch.
No way.
Yeah, because they had to do something specific. So like even Men in Black is a Hamilton watch. It's called a Ventura. It's a triangle. It's weird. Elvis made it like popular back in the fucking 50s or whatever the fuck. But like they make like a lot of movie watches because even the new one, the Tenet, they made a custom watch for that movie.
Hamilton did.
They make like custom shit, dude. It's fucking.
How much is that watch?
Like $2,000 or something like that. Which again, dude, but like for what you're getting Swiss watch for like that much is nothing compared to like, you know, Rolex and shit like that.
Man, that's the type of shit you roll out like special occasions. Like it's like stuff like that. Like where do you wear it? You know what I mean? Not with this current climate, but just in general. Like,
yeah.
You got a watch like that. I'm not wearing a watch like that to go to the store. You know what I mean? Like
I just wear watch. I love watches, so like I go through phases. Like if I had more watches than this one, I'd probably like have one for certain occasions, like going camping or something. I'd get like that Hamilton Field khaki watch, that military one. Or if I was going out and I had to wear a tuxedo, I would like an Omega, or something like that. Because I personally like Omegas a little bit more than Rolexes, just because Rolex is like the go-to. Yeah. But I learned the other day that Navy SEALs actually wear Rolexes for tactical reasons, because if they're in a different country and they need to get the fuck out quick, everyone knows the Rolex brand, and they know that fucking watch costs thousands of dollars more than your piece of shit car that guy needs at that moment to get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, dude, that's tactical as fuck. And I've been into tactical stuff lately, dude.
I see that with even like the new knife that you got as well.
Yeah, I got rid of the fucking Benchmade. Yeah, of course I brought that shit. Dude, look at that motherfucker.
That shit is so light, man.
Dude, it's light as fuck. Cause my first knife was my stepdad got me at my brother's military. What the fuck do you call it? He graduated boot camp or something like that at Paris Island. He's a Marine and he's in Japan right now. And that knife was awesome. I used it for like the last 2 years or longer, but it was so heavy.
This feels nice, man.
Dude, it does feel nice. It's made out of a new material. It's a bench-made bug out, they call it. And
Is it like carbon fiber or something?
it's called CF Elite, which is stronger and more durable than their last stuff, because before they used to be able to just squeeze it in the middle and it felt kind of cheap and all that stuff. But like to me, it's like I've been getting better at the spider flick and all that shit, dude. So you can like use your thumb like that. I cut myself a couple times. But
I cut myself a couple times opening my knife.
yeah, dude. I think I like dent the fucking blade up here too. I noticed last night. Like you can't really notice it unless you like look close. Yeah, but I'm like, damn, I didn't even fucking use this shit yet. How the fuck did that get there?
Oh, I think I see.
If you look at it in the light, you can notice it. Like on this side, not that side. The blade. Well, I guess you could see it better from the other side, but it's like up here. I was fucking pissed. But like, dude, yeah,
the shit you notice, I would like never notice that until like it's actually.
It's
like,
all the details, bro. I like some suits like attract me just because fucking the stitching. You know how we got buttons on the wrist part? Like somebody will use like red stitching on a blue suit or something. I'm like,
you
fire, my guy. It's those little details and shit. You're like the material on the inside and all that. That's how I do it with like music and stuff. It's all those little details.
Yeah.
Like vocals and shit.
To me, with a suit, is always about like the inner lining. I love that, but I hate that people can't see it. It pisses me off.
But I kind of like shit like that. I like the details that I only know about personally. Like some of my sneakers are like just the details that only I know about. You know, but and it's just little things that like that just bring it all together.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's always been a thing. We were at the mall, Courtney and I think, can't remember which one, in Opry Mills or whatever. And I was just looking at some suits and was like, oh, let me try this just to be funny.
Let me just try this Valentino suit. Oh my God. I was that whiskey you were giving me one.
And so like I'm looking at I knew it was gonna look good, and she was just like, it looks ugly.
What?
And
Where'd you go?
I think it was maybe Macy's.
Macy's, yeah.
It was at Macy's, and then I put the suit on. I knew it was going to be a banger.
Yeah.
And then I put it on. And she just turned around. She's like, ooh. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. You like this song. She's like,
wow.
She's like,
that fitting room's looking good.
She's like, I'm like, can I get this? But I even told him, just like, if I'm buying the suit, I'm going with Dave. I'm just, I don't know jack shit about
Hell
suit.
yeah. You saw that suit I got the other day, man. I got it for my buddy's wedding, too, because I was like, I want to look fucking sharp as shit. And I got it tailored to the nines, dudes. Fucking, you know, that blue with the pink shirt underneath, the gray tie.
Shit, even when we did that photo shoot and whatnot.
Dude, fucking slayed it.
I'm just like, yeah, if I'm getting a suit anytime, and I'm probably due for one, honestly. The one that I have, it fits, but like I've always been into the tailored stuff, you know, because even back home, when we dress back in Ivory Coast, it's like everything is tight fitting. You know, you want to showcase, and that's what even regular clothes, short like tight fitting is normal. It doesn't. It's not like where you're here, people are like, oh, it's too tight. Over there, that's what it is. You know, that's good.
Well, it's the fashion's always changing, dude. Like the '90s was baggy. Like, you know, the '90s suits were baggy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then it started trimming, and then the 2000s during the bling era of rap and shit like that, it was baggy pants and a polo and all that. And then it was really slim fitting stuff. And now we're starting to get back into like kind of brought back like almost it's like tight jeans but a very large hoodie.
Yeah, I know. Like
always was weird to me, but. You know,
I don't like that style personally.
Yeah.
Like wearing something tight and then a big ass sweater or whatever.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And then just like a potato bag in this, just walking around. Like,
it's all these skinny kids, you know what I mean? But like, I'm in good shape, so I want to flex a
exactly.
little bit.
You know, to me, like that's always been the point. You know, and it's like, why would I wear something that's like not showcasing the hard fruits of my labor? Or not now because I'm not really working out lately. But like at the time, I'm just like, oh hell yeah, I want to show off. Why am I gonna cover myself up in all this, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I remember just fashion, just looking even at some of the old clothes where baggy was it, like Avirex, what was the brand that I always bought? It wasn't Echo.
Mark Echo?
No,
dude, I remember Mark Echo and like Rockaware and Sean John.
Rockaware, Sean John. There was another one that I always wear. It's like a Aviplex, whatever it was called. I would always wear that brand.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember the name. Everyone talks about it.
Was it a big name?
Yeah, I think at the time it really was.
Is this in Africa or here?
No, that's here. Because like I would buy stuff when my mom and we would come over. I would always get baggy clothes because it was like 2000.
That's what I wore in high school. It was like a fitted polo
Yeah.
because I was like in senior year, I was in better, like the best shape at that time because I was a little tubby fuck back before that. But like, and I always wore like baggy jeans. But even back then, I started getting into sneakers too, man. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like a sneakerhead like a motherfucker. Because I had like that's when like LeBron and Carmelo first came out, and they had all their shoes and stuff like that. I was like, fuck, dude, those sneakers are dope.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for those LeBron 2s. Nike need to bring those fuckers back. I don't know why. That's like the only one they haven't retroed yet. This is the best one.
I like was looking. We were always at work with Postmates, and this guy was like showing everyone these pair of shoes that he just bought. And I'm like, I remember those days when I was like, not a sneakerhead, but like just looking at shoes, and you were just, oh, buy those ones and buy those. I have money to blow. I'm just like, I get these shoes,
bro. Man, I just watched. So I was reading a Dave Ramsey book the other day, and he was talking about how like a lot of people you're always buying shit you can't afford. You're in debt, credit card, all this other fucking bullshit, and he mentioned something how back when he was younger, he like became a millionaire, then went broke, became a millionaire, went broke or something like that, and he really wanted this Jaguar, and he bought it even though he couldn't afford it or something like that, and like even though they were going into debt, he didn't want to get rid of that car, and then eventually his wife convinced him or something, he finally let it go or whatever, they got out of debt, they went back up, and then like he was about to buy like a Benz or something like that, but then somebody called him and said like, yo, I got a Jaguar you might be interested in, and it was like the same one that he let go, and he said something at the end like it was a religious thing where it's like God doesn't like idols before him, and we tend to idolize these things like sneakers. Like I know I went hardcore with sneakers, like I've chilled the fuck out now where I'm like, how can I get that? Somehow, but like it's not important, you know what I mean? And it's like when you place that above things that are important, bad shit happens. But like when you finally start to figure your shit out, then God's like, all right, we'll give you that Jag, man. You want those Travis Scotts? We'll give you this. Just have your shit in order, your priorities in order.
It's funny you say that. I was actually having a conversation with my dad where like I was like, man, like ever since this whole COVID thing happened, I'm like, I just feel like, because me, I go to church and all religiously, I just haven't been there. Yeah. And I'm just like, I hate that, but I'm also not doing
religiously,
anything.
as in, you mean mentally?
Mentally,
like spiritually, you're just not there.
Yeah, spiritually, like I'm not there in a sense, like like the connection that I used to harness and trying to do. Like whenever I came to talk with Dylan and all, and we kind of came up with all those
business plan,
yeah. When one of the goals I finished, read the whole Bible this year. I was on track, bro. I was cruising every day, reading the Bible, yada, yada. And I got that job. And then ever since I got that job, I just haven't been back. And ever since then, I haven't. And I was telling my dad yesterday, I'm just like, man, I'm like, at one point I felt like, things weren't necessarily lining up. And I felt like I wasn't, thinking about God and everything that I was doing. But then with how things have been moving on lately, I was kind of reminded that, okay, someone is still watching over me in a sense. And when you said, you just got to, do what's right and then you get the reward type of thing. And my dad was just like, yeah, and everything you do, it's not like you just sit there, do nothing, and then you get the reward. You got to put in the time, and then God will give you what is due to you, what you deserve. Sure. You know what I mean? And it's just funny that you mentioned that. I was literally talking about that yesterday. But overall, it's just been tough.
Have you got back to reading?
No.
Not yet?
No. Just that reading, the fact that reading in general is an issue for me. Like I got a book that I want to read, but I haven't read it. So that's just like
you gotta just force yourself to do it. You gotta start with something that really interests you, though. Like I started off with that
War.
War. What is it? The War of Art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was what the first one
opened
that
it up.
I'm like 7 books deep this year, some crazy shit.
You're just like much better than you on fire, dude.
Well, like again, it's like it's your it's what you want, what your goals are. Yeah. I had like an epiphany it was like a month or two ago. I think I like called my dad right after or something like that. And I was like learning more about like American history, like the real history that everybody fucking talks about. The meaning behind the Declaration and the Constitution, why it exists and all that stuff. And then I thought like I want to be the president of the United States. And not that I really want to be, but like, who do I need to become to be able to handle that job? You know, like I was reading like Obstacle is the Way. I think that's what it's called, by Ryan Holiday. That shit, like Ulysses S. Grant, like he always remained calm even though he was losing a battle, and he figured a way out. Like, how much philosophy would you need to know? Politics would you need to know? Financial stuff would you need to know? Because you're not that man right now.
Yeah.
Who's the man you need to become to achieve what you want? Because you would have it already if you were that guy, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Because I remember being younger, fucking like, oh, I just feel like I'm going to be successful. I just know it. I know I'm going. Like, no, motherfucker. That's a young man's fucking dream, you know, bullshit dream. I have artists I work with that feel the same way, and I'm telling you right now, I've lived it. You are not that person because you don't have it yet. And it was a quote by Les Brown, I think it is. Dude, like every single day I think about this. Like, you don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life what you are. So you need to become the person who can achieve those goals and those dreams. So right now I'm trying to be better. You know, and not just in business or being a record producer, it's as a man. Like, I'm learning about financial stuff. I called my dad, like, after the other day about, like, I'm learning about, I can't fucking remember. Well, like, you know, in like stocks and bonds and stuff like that, like, because those are fucking man things you need to fucking know. Yeah. You know, checkings and savings accounts, and make sure, like Capital One 360's got like the best savings. I've been learning in this Ramit, some Indian guy's book right now, like I Can Make You Rich or something, and how Schwab has like the best checking account. Bro, dude, it's fucking awesome. But also like the mindset books, the philosophy books, you know, like Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield, and you know, The Obstacle is the Way, like I said, and then The Perennial Seller, and like how to, like, you know, tell a story to like make your brand different than everything else. It's like like I'm reading every day. I'm learning fucking Spanish, you know. I'm building my social media by like doing the $1.80 principle. It's like you have to become better, and not just your craft, but as a person, as a human being, you know. And that's the only way you can get to where you want to be, you know. So fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, I feel
that's
you.
Heavy shit.
No, I feel you on that, and I guess that's just that one thing that, you know, if everyone can do it, everybody would. You know, it's just
you're right, and that's why not everyone will be successful, because they don't have the drive and the conviction to fucking see it through.
I think there's that, but I don't think everyone just sits down and thinks thoroughly.
No, because everyone's so caught up in their fucking phones and like their fake friends and all this other bullshit. I like truly believe you need alone time for quite a while. I'm talking years, bro, to search to find out who the fuck you are, which I had that after I quit drinking. You know, like I was 23 or something. I quit 2012 or whatever the fuck, because I had some shit going on, you know, and like it was my little brother Dalton who really helped me quit, you know, because he mentioned we were talking something on the way back from Gus's Hot Dogs, and I forget what the fuck we were talking about, but he mentioned, like, he said literally, like a wise man once said this. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, who the fuck told you that? And he's like, well, you did. You're my older brother, you know. And I was like, oh fuck, they pay attention, you know. I'm the oldest of 5, you know, so they're watching me. So I wanted to show them that they have someone in their life that does what they say they're gonna do. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we've had that conversation before, where it's just like,
well, like it's when you keep bringing up all these things. Even yesterday, I was telling Corey, it's like I feel like, and this is not me saying do it, but with where you're at mentally. Yeah. If you were to go back to drinking, I know you would be fine, but I know that you're right now. It's more than just you. It's about the example. It's about being that person that, you know, man of your word, your family and the people behind you. Like you say, you're the oldest of 5. They're looking at you. And so when I feel like when something, you know, is about you, it's easy to admit it. But when it's about people that you care for, the motivation is a lot more deep. Yeah. Into that degree, I feel like, you know, that's why I'm never like, oh, here's a beer. I'm just like, because that's your motivation. You want to be that example. You live by that, and at this point, it's part of your persona. And it's like I don't feel like you. I feel like sometimes maybe you may miss it if you smell the smell of beer and you're just like, geez, that smells so fucking.
I'm cool. Like, because down here, nobody knows me as Drinking Dave. You know, as soon as I moved down, it was like late 2012. I quit like 2 months after I fucking got here, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I go home if I'm hanging out with the old bros from like, high school or fucking early college, whatever. Then it's like, whatever. Even though they're cool with it, it's fine. But I haven't had any issues or anything like that. There's only been like one. I think there was only like 2 times where I was like I had to call Daddy or something like that and just chat with him. Like he probably remembers too, but he remembers exactly when I quit too. It was like October 28th or whatever he calls me every year.
I bet he does.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, fucking. I would never probably drink. Like I said, it's got to be bigger than yourself for you to actually want to do something. You have to really want it yourself, whether that's losing weight or trying to read more or whatever. It's all like try to figure out a schedule that works for you too, man. Like, 'cause I used to work out in the morning, but now I've been doing it later in the day because no matter what, I want to read, do Spanish, social media every fucking morning. That needs to happen because I feel like shit if I don't do any of those things. You know what I mean? So like if you wake up, just read like fucking 2 pages. Just 2 pages. Yeah. Or fucking Dylan does this Daily Stoic. He reads like 1 paragraph, and then that's it. And then he does something else.
And I think I was watching.
I want to read the Bible eventually too. I haven't read the whole thing.
I feel like for me being like my family being big on faith and all that stuff, and not actually knowing like the storyline, because I was more interested in the story of the Bible, and that's what was interesting to me. Because when I was reading it, I was thinking it more from now everything's visual with me. Can't do nothing without thinking about, okay, what does it look like in my movie in my head? Yeah, you know what I mean. And so I was reading the Bible. I'm just like, I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. He did what? And I'm so like that's
man,
interesting.
Jesus, he's balling,
bro. I'm still in the Old Testament, and so I'm just like. I can't remember which one it is, but like he had like I think 9 kids, and then one of them, like his other brothers were jealous of him, and so they sold him to the Egyptian. And then once he got to the Egyptian, he became one of the kings or the advisors, and then he had one of his brother that he kept there. He's like, okay, well, bring me your father and whatever. And then they thought he was dead because all his brothers told him that they killed him or he got killed by a beast. Sure. And so they came back, and then it was just like, you're our brother, and he's like one of the top guys amongst the Egyptian kingdom or whatever. And then he was just like, I'll have mercy on you. You brought me my little brother. May God be with you. And all. I sent them back with all the goods because they were going through a drought. So like stuff like that, when I read it from a story perspective, it stays with me. Versus when I go from a perspective of just faith, it's just like, I don't know. It's just not as, I don't want to say interesting, but like overall, I'm more interested in the story, the people, what happened. And then once I bring faith into it, it makes sense, But I think it also comes from growing up. It was just like, you need to go to church. Has always been that thing that I was I needed to do. And even though I did it, some days I'm just like, it's not that important, But I wrestle with that every now and then. Sure. And I think overall, just
the fact that you do wrestle with it is good, though.
Well, yeah, of course, but I think a lot of time, like when I think about, religion, seeing like, when I think about, I think you and I are having a conversation about, abortion and all that stuff and how people that are in church are against abortion and whatnot. Sure. But then when you think about it, it's more about the woman. The woman in that scenario. And so to me, there's some instances where, yes, from a religious standpoint, it may not be right. But with everything, there's a separation. It's just like, with our state, there's a separation between state and religion. At least there should be, Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but like if religion was brought into the governance of a country, I don't think that those two go together. But very much so, they're intertwined, but they don't affect each other, even though the values of religion feel like embedded in the governance, because like
the values of Christianity are, because every single founding father was Christian. Yeah. Like everyone always says, like, Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson were, it's not atheists, it's like deists or something like that. It's actually false. Even in Benjamin Franklin's like autobiography, he mentions how like that was a fool's way of thinking. Even Thomas Jefferson held church in the Hall of Congress or something during his presidency. And like the thing that you're talking about, a separation of church and state, is actually a sentence from a Thomas Jefferson letter to a local reverend or something like that. But if you actually read, it's like a page. It's just a page. You can actually look it up. I don't like know exactly what it says, but some Supreme Court or some court only read that one part, and it's like taken out of context.
Yeah.
If you read the entirety of it, it says something a little different. Where it's not complete separation of, state and church and all that stuff. It's actually I don't want to misread it, but you can like misinterpret it or whatever. But like read it yourself and kind of gauge what you think he meant by it. You know what I mean?
Because and going back to the whole reader thing, like I got a book from Trevor Noah, which I knew that I would be genuinely interested in, but I haven't read it yet. And it's just like you said, it's just have to make the time and where my priorities are. And to be quite honest, I'm still trying to figure that out. Even though I did
priorities of like what you should read first, or priorities in just life. Yeah.
Life in general. I think my priorities overall is to just figure out, I guess, what I like doing, because I view this as an opportunity to experiment and to try different things. And a lot of times I don't really know what that looks like. Yeah. And I have a lot of like, I know so much that it paralyzes me, and even with a lot of things that I'm doing, I'm just like, I like to think through with things, but then there's a limit, and I cross that limit every freaking time. I overthink. And then when I get to that point, it's just like, okay, let's take it back, go with it, and then figure it out. You know what I mean? And every time that I've done that, I've been fine. So it's kind of just realizing that, okay, don't be afraid to take that initial step with anything, just because, it'll be fine. Because I had like 2 weeks where it was just hell, like in terms of like the amount of work that was going on and with work schedule.
The post thing?
Yeah. So like, the Barktoberfest that I was editing, podcast, and then like overall just wanting to deliver. On top of that, having to do that within a specific time frame and work. But then at the same time, being here and, the house needing some things, and also all those different priorities is just like prioritizing things, or like, okay, I want to do this today, but something happens. And then at that point, it's just like, okay, well, I can't do those things because I got to go take care of it.
What's that thing that happens? Is it something that absolutely needs to be handled right then and there? Because that's where the whole priorities. I'm sure Dylan's chatting.
Yeah.
With you about that, where it's just in the way.
Yeah, it's all about overall what you allow to get in the way of what you have to do.
Yeah, and I know as like humans, we always want that quick like turnaround, that satisfaction of like. When you're building something, obviously that takes a long ass time to do. But like, the kitchen's dirty, I should clean it, because you get immediate satisfaction out of it. But it's just in the fucking way. Yeah. Focus on what you need to focus on to get it done. Yep. Which like little by little, like, will grow into something. That's what we're doing with Upstate.
Yeah.
It's only really this year that we've been focusing on the business, and we're making moves. All before that was developing the craft and being the best, record producer I can fucking be. But now it's all business and like helping out my producers and the podcast grow. You know what I mean? Like hopefully this fucking helps out too.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually quite private. Not many people know much about me, so this is like the most people are going to find out about me. And I like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I just personally like. You have to kind of earn that from me.
No, and to that is just like, I mean, I know you're not a Virgo, but like, you're
I don't give a fuck about all that shit.
No, then I know you don't give a fuck about all that. What's your astro sign?
Libra.
Yeah. So like you're like actually you're similar to my sister, because my sister's a Libra, but like Virgos with me, like I don't get close to people like that. It's just like I gotta see you, I don't know, 10 times, or like hang out X amount of times, and then then we're warming up.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of just get to a part where it's just like, okay, whatever. Even with you, like when we first started hanging out and all, even though it was over Neo, obviously we had that bond with there.
Sure.
But that was at school. Then we started living together. Then that was a totally different chapter. And then we got to nurture, and it was like, okay, this guy's kind of cool. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like I agree with that. You know, just like people knowing you shouldn't just be like that privilege shouldn't just be given to anyone because then
No,
like
you gotta earn that
yeah
fucking shit, and for me, it takes years.
Yeah.
Unless like I just happen to connect with somebody.
Yeah,
like, you
obviously.
And me connected
Yeah.
almost immediately. Like I'm just like I'm comfy.
yeah
Like,
yeah
that's fucking cool.
There's just some people it just happens, you know, like they
Which
don't
is rare. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't remember the last. It's just you, Shane, and you know, like that's it.
yeah
You know, I haven't like there hasn't really been anyone else since '09.
Yeah.
Like, probably Radigan and Dan. Like back in the Boys of Steel days, but yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
the boys
We're
are
not gonna get into that shit. Fucking A, dude, over a decade ago.
No, my
Holy
days.
shit.
See, but thinking about that is just like, man, there's like time. I was watching a documentary, right?
Sure.
A soccer documentary. It's called All or Nothing. It's a series, and they do football, but they were doing it about soccer, which in my mind is a real football. But anyway, that's a different topic. But the coach of that team used to be the coach of my team, Chelsea, and he went to the enemy's team, Tottenham.
Oh,
So yeah, exactly. But we fired him, and so he said he would never, you know, train that team, and yet he is the trainer of that team. But he was talking to one of his players, Dele Alli, and he was telling him, he just like, when I was at that club, the old manager there said, buy this player. He's very talented. He's Manchester United material, whatever.
it's a weird thing to say. Buy this player, like buy that human being.
Yeah, like
It's a little weird wording.
It's so weird, you know, like just like the way that it is. We need to get this way. We need to buy him for 70 million. Buy this way. The whole aspect of buying a player to me is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It resonates very weirdly with me, but I'm not gonna get into that. But that coach was like was saying like he said when I see you, I see a lot of potential, and he said like you see me now, I'm 52. He said yesterday I was 20, now I'm 56. He's like just like that. He's like I fear that when you look back at your life, you're going to have a lot of regret because you have all this potential and you wasted it. When he said that, I was working. I had that in the corner, and I was just working.
Post stuff.
Yeah, Postmates.
Oh, recently.
Yeah, it was just like 3-4. It was before the podcast.
Oh, sure.
You know that we done on Sunday. And when he was saying that, I just turned at my iPad and just looked at it. I'm just like, fuck.
Dude, sometimes it just hits you, man.
You know, I was just like, and I have that conversation a lot with Courtney. I'm like, okay, what do I fucking want?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like because all the stuff that me and Dylan touched on were legitimate, but it's just that drive is just not there, and I hate it because I know me. Once I find that thing, there's no fucking way in hell I'm not reaching it. 100%. Like I know me. You know, I've done this several times before, but being in this same environment is honestly very misleading to me, and a lot of times I just need to remove myself from here, you know, where we're at right now. It's just, you know, it's comfortable shit, you know, and there's a lot of growth that comes from discomfort. I know a thing or two about that because my whole real job touring, a lot of it's uncomfortable, but the growth that I've got from that is very much significant. But I think to me, the big hiccup is I feel like I've already been through the trenches because I was in that field.
Sure.
And I've put in that time. And then now I'm in a different chapter where I'm just like, well, shit, I'm starting from scratch again. And it's kind of just like, not disheartening, but it's just like, okay, let's do this again. You know what I mean? But my mentality is shifting. And I'm more so at the point I'm just like, okay, if I'm doing any video work, because no one's paying, you know, everyone's just like, okay, unless you're the video director or unless you're the this and that, you're getting paid. But if you're anybody else on the lower tier of shit, like even the project that I was helping out on, you know, I got several calls, be like, hey, we really want you to come through and all. We need you from this time to this time. I'm like, bet, I can be there. But I have to take off work. Are you paying? No, we can't pay. I can't be there. And to me, that's hurting me because I don't like the shit that I'm doing right now. But I need that to keep a roof over my fucking head. And that is honestly like what is like, I want to say at stake right now. Stability, yes. But like overall, it's just like, okay, I can't quite not do my job because I need it. But
I will admit it takes a lot more discipline to work from home.
Yeah.
Towards something you want that's
Yeah.
not like a comfy paycheck, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, because you got to do your gig and then you get a paycheck. You can pay for everything and everything. And you working a 9 to 5 basically, like it drains you.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want to fucking be working. Like after valet, I used to nap for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
You know, but it's 9 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I don't get to produce today. You know, that sucks.
Well, like, because even this, because I love my schedule, like from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's the best, you know, because I have time like this to do stuff. Like, even if I was still working, I could still do this.
Sure.
Because I'm working at 4:30. Now, the part that sucks is, you know, if I got to meet people out, I'm just like, oh, you only got Wednesdays and Thursdays, you know what I mean? But ultimately, it's just been a major adjustment for me. And quite honestly, you know, I was up super fucking late editing. I edit at night. That's when my juice comes through. That's when the motivation, the drive to edit comes for me. And so having to channel that in the day, and also the setting, because just working from my office, that's where I work. And so I'm getting better at it. I'm kind of over it now. I'm just like being in that same place. I'm okay. I work here from 4 to 9, from 4 to 1. Then I'm here from, I don't know, 12 to 4. So having that separation from that same area. Sure. I tried being in the room that we're in right now, and it just doesn't work, you know, because I know if she's down here, oh, how about this? I can't focus, you know, and like sometimes I just need to just be me and whatever I'm doing, because I don't necessarily have a clear thought of what it is that I want to do.
Yeah.
But then if I'm sitting there by myself, I can kind of organize my thoughts and be, okay, oh, let's try this. Let's work on this. But if I'm constantly getting distracted about this and that, it's hard to kind of just put one and one together to equal 2. It's just like, oh, I'm doing this. Okay, yeah. Okay, 3 here. Fuck, that's not what I wanted. Whatever, you know.
What's your environment, bro? You just gotta like go to a fucking Starbucks or something and just put on some headphones.
And like the big thing is just
or
like
I keep saying, like
go
Studio
to your
B.
I know. Like
fucking me and Dill are fucking over.
Yeah, no.
We got Otom in there now, dude.
Yeah.
He's fucking making shit.
Because I was talking to Old Time about it. I'm just like, so do you feel like when you come here you get stuff done? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I like coming here because I feel like when I come here I get shit done. I'm just like, okay. And like more and more, because even when I come down on Sundays, and I told Courtney this yesterday, I was like, I'm like, you know, it's weird, it's interesting, and at the same time, it's weird to see this place transforming like it is from the time that I lived here. And then it's weird because you're doing all the modifications to the stream. I'm just like, man, that's my room.
Hey, you motherfucker.
Like, you motherfucker. I don't want this shit here. I'm like, move it. I'm like, where my corner desk? Bring it back. You know? Go back to but like,
where's rent?
Yeah.
You can tell me what you want.
But like, it's part of the growth. But like, I love seeing the growth. I've loved seeing you like grow throughout this process. And to me, that's probably been like the biggest thing, because I said, like, if anyone is an example of how disciplined I need to be in trying to accomplish it, is honestly you. Because no, seriously, because like even when you were like, you know, mixing and doing all those things, it's very easy to kind of just go the other. I'm like, I need money. You know, the good thing is it's also important to have an environment and people around you that are like willing to support what you're doing. You know, your dad is your biggest supporter. You know, like, I love your dad. Like, seriously, like, he's awesome. You know, the dad is freaking great. You know, and like I said, like when he comes over, yes, I'm not part of the family, but I feel like I know him.
You are, my God.
Yeah, I feel like I know him, like, to some, because you speak so much about him. So like I know this and that about the Dathew. So I love that man. Like, seriously. So just having him on your corner, I know like you don't want to disappoint, and you got that drive to always deliver. But then you're also a very disciplined person, you know. So like you don't want to settle for anything less than what you want. And I think that's the thing. I settle in some areas. You like, no, I'm not settling for this shit. I'm going for that. And I think to some degree that's where I want to get. Because, I don't know, I feel like, okay, well, I'm not able to get this, but I'll settle for this now until I can get that. Yeah. And that's my mentality in some things. But I very much wish sometimes that I could just be like, nah, this or nothing. You know, and countless times I've seen this happen again and again. And the most recent example, I'm not going to bring it up because that's very personal, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Kind of just like, head is still in that. I'm just like, okay. Still his head is in that shit. I'm just like, all right, well, we'll see where this goes, you know?
Oh, Oh, you fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, no, not at all. But like that in itself is a prime example. Like I said, over and over again, it keeps happening. So like I said, keep doing your thing. Like I said, I'm always like fucking. I'm like, okay,
Well, bro, it's like it's still not easy.
No, it's
like,
not.
Back to anime, like the first fucking episode when All Might's like, oh, I can't fucking. You remember Bakugo was getting sucked in by that fucking slut monster thing?
Yeah.
All Might was over on the side being a bitch at first, and he's the number one hero in the world, and he was like, oh, I'm horrible, I'm a piece of shit, you know. And then Deku runs in and does it, which inspires All Might and stuff. Like all these people we look up to, these sport icons, these fucking Gary Vee, all these fucking guys, dude, they all have their own issues that they struggle with probably every fucking day, you know. It's not just, we only see what we see on camera.
Yeah.
You know, not all the fucking shit they
goes in the
deal with.
background,
Like
yeah.
they all have like personal coaches that like help them get through shit. I know Justin Bieber has a therapist coach or whatever. Like Tony Robbins is like the therapist coach for mad people, and even he's got a coach. You know, so it's like I deal with shit too, bro. Appreciate everything you're saying about
No,
it.
no,
I'm
but-
Mike that faggot.
No, no, but you're right. You know, like, and that's part of it. I think with Dylan, you know, saying like documenting the stuff that you're doing, and like, because people, that's what people want to see. That's what people relate to, because people often see the end product, but not necessarily, you know, what it takes to get to the end product. And that's why detailing and, you know, keeping track of that for people to see, you know, is a good thing. Not saying you should put your life on, you know, on display for everyone, but just saying in general, that's why people who vlog and show all those type of details have, you know, a genuine following, because they're willing to be vulnerable. Because it's always about, you know, oh, I'm a badass, bad as this, bad as that. And like some people, sometimes the best way to kind of have people relate and build that natural relationship with people is to just really just be willing to be vulnerable in some things. And that once, I feel like once everyone is able to cope with that, you know, there's no real way that you cannot succeed.
Sure.
You know, I had a moment, I saw this videographer, this director, and I saw some of his shit, and I saw it, I'm just like, damn, that shit looks dope as fuck. You know what I mean? I saw him just like, that's the shit that I want to do. The kid's 23.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck, you know? But, and that's where going back to me just like not being around, you know, it's such a good opportunity that I really need to just like zero in on what's going on with me and then just fucking do it, you know? And so as of right now, there's things in the works. And like I said, it's getting done, but like, is it to the degree that I know it could be done? No. But at the same time, I don't know. My whole shit is just like very messy at the moment. But I am still appreciative of, you know, the steps that I'm taking, because all it takes is just that one step and then the rest will follow.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm very much so from the mentality of like, okay, doing something is better than doing nothing. You know, and so in time is just how patient can I be? Because I'll tell you, my biggest motivation right now is, okay, I need to figure something that enables me to stay home and not have to be on the road so fucking much, but be able to pay for all the shit that I got going on right now. That's my biggest motivation, on top of, you know, because I'm already thinking about kids. You know, I'm just like, okay, with what I'm doing right now, can I provide for a fucking kid? And the answer is no fucking way. You know, it's just like, okay, so what needs to happen? Because my dad had a really big impact on me and still does. You know, I'm talking to him yesterday a good bit. And just the shit that we were talking about, I'm just like, okay, this man did everything he had to do. And then now I'm talking to him and he couldn't be any more proud, because he's just like, okay, this kid, even though he doesn't necessarily know 100% where he wants to go, he's taking the steps. Because like I was telling him, he's like, oh, well, how you doing with your video stuff? I'm just like, well, I think I'm going to start going into my video stuff. You know, and even though I'm saying all this stuff, I've been doing things. It's just not to the degree that I want. You know, it's just like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. What's next? You know, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, what's next?
Sure.
Shit, I don't know what's next. And then I pause, and then the momentum kind of just get broken. And I hate that. That's the part that's killing me right now.
Dude, momentum's important with all this shit.
Yes, it is, and so it's just like
Anything really. It's just that consistently
Yeah.
moving forward.
and that's like I don't want it to stop. I'm just like, okay, and then this, okay, what's next? Okay, but like, because I told him, it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to start doing my video thing and whatnot. And then you were telling me, we were talking about like, oh yeah, the whole podcast idea. I'm just like, you know what, cool, let's do that. And then Dylan comes in, oh, we're going to do the Barktoberfest. Sure, I'll do that. Did that, boom, boom. Then I had a friend that reached out to me to go do a shoot. And that's where it brought me back to the whole, God and religion. I'm just like, when I started doing what I needed to do, things started to line up. And that's where to some degree I'm just like, okay, I know there's still somebody there, like kind of just like, okay, keeping an eye out for little old me because, who am I? But like just how things have just been lining up lately. I'm just like, okay, I just have to be patient, but it doesn't mean I have to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's the part where I'm just like, okay,
you should never be not like never doing nothing.
Yeah, no, that I don't believe in that. Like whoever thinks that you just do nothing and then I got this opportunity.
I mean, like that's what the War of Art I think mentions is where it's like you're an amateur if you're waiting for shit, and it's not motivation that'll get you through. It's discipline.
Yep.
It's sitting. Even if you're not inspired to write a song or edit or whatever the fuck, dude, you sit down and you do it anyways because it will come. And like that just, I think it just comes with experience and just learning that it will come. Like I just know as like a songwriter and stuff like that. Like there's some days I'm just off, but I know if I push through that first half hour, whatever the fuck, something's going to click.
Yeah.
Even when like sound designing or producing a track or whatever the fuck.
It's like even with Jack, when Jack was like living with this dude was writing a song, like I don't know.
Dude, remember he did 8 like in one day or some crazy
I was just
ass
like,
shit?
how the fuck do you write 8 songs in one day? Just like, I don't know.
Sit your ass down. Be humble.
It's like I don't know.
But I ain't even done with this track yet. Like, damn shit.
And just like, but I also like for me when it comes to music, I don't like that. Yeah. Because I feel like I know it's just an exercise and a goal, which at the end of the day, when the real process takes place, you're a little bit more acute or like precise when it's happening. Because it's like anything else, like an exercise. If you want to be the best songwriter in the fucking world, well, guess what? You got to write a specific amount of songs so that, maybe all the song won't get picked up, but an idea from that song may fit in another song and you already wrote that. And it's just like, well, shit, I already got this line. Let's try this. And the person likes it. Like, okay, well, I guess.
It's also understanding when you're practiced enough. Now it's time to start getting into, making moves with what you've learned.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be, you should be learning every day, but like practicing over and over, like that's why 2020 has been nothing but business for me. Like I've already, I trust myself to make the right decisions now when it comes to making a record, which takes time and experience and just years of like learning. So that's why I'm trying to help out my producers and everything, where it's like, just don't overthink it. Have to like chuck as much pain as you can and then like listen to it the next day and take stuff away. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just understanding that, because some people just practice, and that's like what consumes their life. They're better. And it's just like, dude, go out and fucking do a show. You gotta. What's your ultimate goal? You want to be an artist, right? Well, what's your goal as the artist? Are you trying to be top 40? Are you trying to just make a living? Or are you just doing this as a hobby? I always got to ask an artist that before I like critique their shit, because I always think top 40. I'm always thinking the best. It just depends. If this is a hobby, it doesn't fucking matter what I think. You're having fun? Yeah. Awesome. More power to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like, you probably think, this is garbage. And then everyone's like, oh, it's just for a hobby. Oh, it's great. Right. It's just like, no, I get it. The level of critique definitely isn't going to be the same if it's someone saying like, oh yeah, just a track I'm doing on the side. I'm okay, well, then do what the fuck you want. Right. If you think in top 40, there is a fine guideline. There is one that you need to kind of just follow. But overall, I like the climate that we're in. Not necessarily ideal for everything else because everything else is shut down. But overall, just the ability to maybe, I probably don't need more time to think. I probably need less time to think. But the fact that everyone's free to do shit now, it enables everyone to really kind of just think about, okay, what is it that I can do?
I think that's what everyone's scared of, dude, because this is that alone time that everyone's needing, and some people are just scared to be alone. Yeah, they always have to have someone in their life so they can get out of their head. Yeah, which I'm like, dude, you got to deal with that demon, bro.
I like being in my
chick,
head.
Whatever the fuck, you gotta like, you gotta beat yourself like
Yeah.
the David Goggins way. Like he beats himself. You know, it's no one like don't compare yourself to anyone else. That's like me and Dill were talking about this the other day where he's just trying to beat the shit out of himself. Where I see that from a training perspective because that's how I train. Also, I'm just trying to be a better me. Like the fuck next to me squatting 800 pounds. I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck about him. You know, I'm selfish as shit at the gym. I have my hoodie. I listen to podcasts at the gym now so I can learn stuff at the same time, you know, because it's the only time I have because, like, I can't just chuck on a podcast when I'm working.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to use my ears.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, but I don't give a fuck with, like, you're in my way. You know, I need that rack. So, but that's how I think when I'm at the gym because, like, you have to be selfish. I think you do need to be selfish in some aspects of your life because that's Michael Jordan was selfish as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Kobe was selfish as shit, dude, and they're the best in the world. You know, rest in peace, Kobe. God damn, that fucked with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you watched The Last Dance, dude. Like I didn't know. I only knew Michael Jordan from like Space Jam. You know, in terms of like who he is as a person.
Yeah.
But like, dude, he was up people's asses because he expected them to play at a level that would help him win a championship.
Yeah.
Or the team win a championship. And Jordan didn't even realize that until what the fuck is the coach's name? It's not Pat.
I haven't watched The Last
Jackson
Dance.
or something.
I
forget,
it.
dude. They won like all the 6 championships with him or whatever the fuck. But like the coach before him was he was just like, yo, pass it to Jordan, pass it to Jordan, pass it to Jordan, and Jordan loved that obviously. But then when the new coach came in and he started implementing like the triangle or whatever the offense was called effect. It fucked with Jordan a little bit because he always got the ball, but now he had to be a team player. And then when they started winning, he's like, "Oh, I get it." You know, Jordan realized he needs a team to win.
Yeah.
You know, even though like the team needed Jordan to win also, but it's just being humble.
Yeah.
And understanding what you need to succeed. Like the Upstate Sound and stuff. There's no way I could do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like I would fucking die for these guys working for me. Like
Yeah.
the producers on the squad. Like we would not be where we are. Like making deals with fucking like, you know, Shane and publishing and co-ventures and stuff in LA and stuff without this team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So goddamn, thank you, boys. Like, holy shit. I hope I can change your fucking lives. You know? So yeah, dude. Completely lost my train of thought.
No, it's fine.
I hate that shit. Like I get on a fucking roll and then I'm like,
It's like,
fuck, what's the point of this shit?
It's like, what was the point? Damn it.
Oh, it was like being selfish or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
it was. But like, you know, and that's just part of becoming who you need to become also. It's like I used to be shy as fuck like back in the day. Now I don't care. You know, like I'll fuck with somebody just to see if they're cool. You know, in a weird, in a you know, playful way or whatever. Like I had Josh's girlfriend came over and we were working on her song and she got her manager on the phone. I was like, "Hey, I'm Dave. I like pudding. I'm like Fogie." Just to see if he'd laugh, because if he laughs, I know he's cool.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then
Whatever.
maybe we don't get along.
If he doesn't, it's like, well, maybe now he thinks I'm weird.
Yeah, Daddy kind of does that too, but in his own little dry humor and shit, which is way weirder.
I can only imagine like being the client of your dad and he's trying to like fuck with me that way. I'm just like, God, I don't know.
He would fuck with you. Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, if I didn't know your dad and like how he would joke with someone with the dry humor, how it would play.
He'll look at you like dead serious.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
You'll be uncomfortable.
I know. Your dad he's just like, I just never know when he's fucking with me or if he's being serious.
Right,
I just never know.
Yeah,
like
Shane
Stone
thinks
Cold.
the same thing, dude.
Stone Cold just looks at you dead in the eyes
dude.
and just fucks with you, but you don't know because he's so fucking serious. And I'm just
know.
like, I hate it.
That's just how he is, dude. I remember Shane thought like Dathy was mad at him or something one day, but he wasn't. Obviously,
He probably
was fucking
ran
around,
with it too. He probably just kept fucking with him. So.
Yeah, dude. Like he will run with it, dude. He's just.
And he's like,
fucking
oh, he thinks I'm mad at him. Well, even better.
yeah.
Shit.
He'll pull on those strings. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, dude, I think that was a good episode.
Yeah, I think overall that's for a first sweet tea in the morning. I mean, I think we've been on the road. I don't know how long we've been recording,
dude.
but overall it's just like, because Courtney was just like, what are you guys going to talk about? But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like, we got talking points, but I'm like, I have some things I want to bring up, but we'll kind of just go. I mean, because you and I have been doing this. Like, this is no different from when you and I were living together and just talking back and forth. This is that, this is that. So, like, to me, I wasn't even concerned about all this. I'm just like, man, we've been wanting to do this for 2 years or some shit.
Something like that.
Every
2 conversation we've had, I should have just had the phone fucking
just recording.
this entire
And
time.
we've said that. But you know, like I was saying, better late than never. It's
Sure.
kind of just like.
Oh, is that the ice mate? God damn.
I thought there was something in the house this morning, dude. Because
Really?
dude, like I was sitting there, and the light part that doesn't really weird me out because like I'll turn on the light, it's at a level, and out of nowhere it'll get brighter, even though the dial is not like in between being like turned off and on. It's where it needs to be, but it'll go brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in here eating, and then I hear like a. I'm just like a pan fell on the ground. And I go in the kitchen, I'm just like, what fell? I have no fucking clue. There's nothing that looks like it fell anywhere. All the dishes were in the rack.
Kitchen's spotless, bro.
It's just like, I'm like, what fell? So it freaked me out a little bit. I'm just like, maybe it was the ice machine and I just wasn't paying attention.
Probably was, dude. I know whenever the fucking, you know that hole in the kitchen window where I have the plastic over, it's going blowing in and out. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Who's in the house? But Dill's like, dude, it's just the wind, man.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, whoever's listening, thanks for listening to Sweet Tea and the Marin.
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 Right. Later.
Peace.
Peace.